The Vergas Show is brought to you by Spanky Stone Hearth, casual fine dining on beautiful Rose Lake. Vergas State Bank, your locally owned community full-service bank. Vergas Event Center for gatherings large or small, including weddings. Vergas Liquor Store, where all the profits profit Vergas.
Make the right call. Call Hanson's, the most trusted name in plumbing and heating.
Hi, welcome to the Vergas Show. I'm Sherry Hanson. Thanks for joining me today. I'm out at Spanky Stone Hearth with Josh Hanson. Hey, Josh.
Morning, Sherry.
Thank you for joining us. It's been a few years, hasn't it?
It has.
Yeah. I'd like to thank you for being a sponsor of the Vergas Show. It's just so important to have those sponsorships and for you to, I know you're invested in Vergas and you see the value of being able to promote what we've got going on. And so I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in Vergas right now. It's really catapulted the last few years.
It's kind of exciting, isn't it?
It is.
And it feels good to be a part of it. And it doesn't just happen. There's a lot of movers and shakers that are going on right now. But again, thank you very much, Spanky Stone Hearth, for being a part of the Vergas show for us to be able to promote all that. And so what I want to know, what's going on out at Spanky Stone Hearth?
Oh,
got a nice fire going today, so that's good.
Feels good. Middle of winter right now. We're stoking the fire on a nightly basis, or I shouldn't say nightly basis. We're open Wednesday through Sunday at 4 o'clock. You can certainly call and get a reservation in front of the fireplace right here. We also have a wood fireplace in the dining room that's very popular as well.
You know, you mentioned the hours 4 o'clock. That's something new since we've done the show, and you're just opened up a little bit earlier. And has that worked out pretty well?
Yes, it works out really well. A lot of times there's such an influx right at 5 o'clock that it's a little tough for the staff to handle, and a lot of people come in just storming the doors. So we decided to open at 4 and give it a little more of a casual feeling as you come into the door.
You know, and there's something nice, especially in the winter when it gets dark earlier, and to maybe have that earlier meal, and then you can go home and you have the rest of your evening when you get back home.
That's right.
Tell me a little bit about, have you done any menu changes?
Yeah, we've done a few menu changes. We always try to keep up with some of the trends, but also keep our staple menus on the menu as well. We're obviously known for our steaks and our seafood. I think those are our biggest two strong points at the restaurant. We cut all the steaks in-house. We age the steaks in-house. We use as many local purveyors as we can for our steaks and the rest of our products. And I think the biggest, one of the biggest attributes we have is we have a charcoal grill in the back. And we actually use lump charcoal instead of briquette charcoal. It's a little more expensive, but it's a natural charcoal instead of using the briquettes, which are kind of pressed together, and there's a lot of impurities in those briquettes. So we really enjoy working with live wood charcoal. It gives the steaks that much more of a unique flavor. And when you're buying a great product to begin with, you're just enhancing that experience by providing it over charcoal wood as well.
That's interesting. I never even thought of that, but you know, anything that you can find to make that product when it gets out to the table that much better. I mean, and you've seen the results of that, because I think you had some accolades as far as best steaks through the region. What were some of those?
Yeah, best steaks, best restaurant, best cocktail, best ribs, best catering. So.
Nice. And you mentioned best cocktail. Okay. One of the things that that I know that a lot of people ask about is your wine pairings, which are very popular. But you've started something called a cocktail pairing too.
We have.
Tell me a little bit about those.
As great as the wine pairings are, and we still do those, there's also a need for cocktail pairings. So not everyone likes to drink wine, and for some of those people that like to drink cocktails, it gives our staff the ability to be a little extra creative and make some unique cocktails that are going to pair well with the food that the chefs put out of the kitchen. They've been very well received. And our bartender Matthew, our head bartender Matthew, and general manager, he handles the cocktail pairings. We try to find a distillery that's local in the region, and we work with that distillery. A lot of times the distillery will come to the restaurant as well and talk about their operation. It's just a good combination of having local people working with local restaurants to promote a product, and also a good product as well.
It's a lot of fun. I've had the opportunity to help out with some of those cocktail pairings, and you've got like 100 and some glasses all there, and it's just the frenzy of getting them all poured and for people to try them, and it's just a fun atmosphere too.
Yes, and it gets people out of their comfort zone a little bit. So you might not necessarily order the cocktail that you receive for the pairing, but it also gets you out of your comfort zone, like I said, a little bit, and trying something a little bit different than you would probably typically order.
Right. And speaking of that, tell me about the Trust Me. The Trust Me is just something that people really, really like.
Yeah, it's great. So I like to describe it. It's for the person that's extremely indecisive and can't make a decision, or the person that has made decisions all week long and said, you decide. So the Trust Me is an entree that comes out of the kitchen that is chef inspired. It's something that is not on the regular menu. It's something that you probably won't order on your own. So that gets you out of your safe zone a little bit too, but it doesn't get too crazy. The majority of the people really enjoy it. We try to work with a few different Trust Me's each night, so if a table of 4 come out and 4 people order the Trust Me, there's more than like a pretty good chance that you're going to get 4 different entrees.
Oh, that's kind of nice. And so then if you want to try something, that they've got too, that works out really good too. So, and what I've noticed is your servers and stuff, if they get to a table and they say, well, I want the Trust Me, but I don't want this and this and this, they're very well trained to say, well, maybe the Trust Me is not for you then.
Yeah. And, a lot of the guests are looking for clues to what the Trust Me might be for the night. So it's become very fun. It's a little challenging when you get a bunch of Trust Me's at one time in the kitchen, but at the same time, it creates a little bit of anticipation of what you're going to receive at the table too.
Oh, I know. Anticipation for the table, and then also, like you say, with the kitchen, with the chefs too. Mm-hmm. I mean, for them to be able to be that creative and try different things. I mean, you have such a great crew back there.
We do, and it gives the chefs a little time to explore their creativity in the kitchen too. We obviously have our regular menu at the restaurant, which we think is very well put out and placed, but this allows the chefs to make something different on a nightly basis instead of going through that monotony and mundane routine of doing the same entrees each night.
Right. And that being said, you always have nightly features, correct?
We still do, yes, regardless. So
regardless of the regular menu.
Mm-hmm. We do a lot of fresh seafood as well. We work with a few local purveyors, a couple purveyors out of the Minneapolis, St. Paul area as well, and they've really got this down where we can order fish on a Monday or a Tuesday and it shows up the next day.
Fresh.
Yes.
Nice.
Very fresh.
That's very nice. Josh, you got a lot going on here with the restaurant itself, but you've also got the retail room going on. And I know since we last met and had a show here for TV3, you've put out a cookbook.
We have. Yeah, as much as a cookbook, it's also a coffee table book too. So it explores the restaurant industry. It talks about the history of Spanky Stone Hearth a little bit. It also emphasizes the different roles at the restaurant and pays a little homage to the kitchen too. A lot of times the chefs are forgotten in the big scheme because they're not out in front of the crowd during the night and they're stuck in the back. So we've focused a little bit more on the chefs than the rest of the staff in this particular cookbook. There's all kinds of recipes from different sauces and different vinaigrettes up to the way we cook our ribs at the restaurant and everything in between. And it's a pretty straightforward cookbook too. We tried to make it as simple as possible using the ingredients that we have. Some of the recipes have just 2 or 3 ingredients, and other recipes are a little more comprehensive with a variety of ingredients.
And so you can get your cookbooks here, or they can give you a call out here at the restaurant too, right?
Right.
And be able to get that. And Josh, you got your retail room is full of, like, you've got your barbecue sauces and you've got your balsamic. You can get, say you just want to come in and grab some soup for the night. And I love the idea that you got the farm fresh eggs. You got the chickens out here, which is always kind of fun. And you can pick up the ribs, and if you just want an evening at home.
For sure.
Right. Well, Josh, we want to meet again as spring comes up and talk about some of the catering opportunities that you provide. We want to talk about your food truck, but really appreciate you getting together with me today and bringing us back up to speed on the restaurant and what you've got going on. And so how would you like to close this out today?
Well, thank you for the opportunity. We look forward to seeing you all everyone out at the restaurant, when you have a chance to come out, we'll be happy to come and greet you and provide a great meal and atmosphere.
All right. Well, you've heard it here. Spanky Stone Hearth is the place to be, and so come anytime between 4 and 4 o'clock you can come, and on Wednesday through Sunday right now with the winter hours, right?
That's correct.
All right. You have a good day in Vergas.